This is Ajay Anand and welcome to another lesson from excelup.com. In this lesson, you will learn about types of chemical reaction. Chemical reactions can be classified into several types, and they are: number 1, combination reaction; number 2, decomposition reaction; number 3, displacement reaction; number 4, double displacement reaction; and number 5, oxidation and reduction reaction. So, what is combination reaction? A reaction in which two or more reactants combine to form one product are called a combination reaction. Let us look at this example. So there are two reactants, A and B. So when A and B react, they produce a compound AB. So this is an example of combination reaction. A plus B is equal to AB. This is just an imaginary reaction. Let us take a real example. What happens when magnesium ribbon is burnt in air? You must have read about this experiment in your previous classes also. So when magnesium is burnt in air, it burns with dazzling white light, and the reaction produces a compound called magnesium oxide. The equation can be written as Mg plus O2 is equal to 2MgO. Magnesium plus oxygen is equal to magnesium oxide. Next example is the burning of carbon in air. So whenever we burn a fuel, we burn carbon. So when carbon is burnt in air, it produces carbon dioxide. C plus O2 is equal to CO2. Carbon plus oxygen is equal to carbon dioxide. The third example is the reaction between hydrogen and chlorine. When hydrogen reacts with chlorine gas, then hydrogen chloride is formed. The equation is H2 plus Cl2 is equal to 2HCl. Hydrogen plus chlorine is equal to hydrogen chloride. When calcium oxide reacts with water, then calcium hydroxide is formed. Calcium oxide plus water is equal to calcium hydroxide. CaO plus H2O is equal to CaOH whole 2. Now, let us see what is a decomposition reaction. Decomposition is just the reverse of combination reaction. So, what happens when a compound breaks into two different products, or a reactant breaks into two different products, then the reaction is called a decomposition reaction. So let us say there is a compound or reactant AB, and after reaction it breaks into A and B. Then this is an example of decomposition reaction. So let us take a real life example. What happens when calcium carbonate is heated? When calcium carbonate is heated, it decomposes to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. CaCO3, that is calcium carbonate, is equal to CaO plus CO2. When iron hydroxide is heated, it decomposes to give iron oxide and water. 2FeOH whole 3 is equal to Fe2O3 plus 3H2O. Another example is when lead nitrate is heated, it decomposes to give lead oxide, nitrogen oxide and oxygen. The equation is 2PbNO3 whole 2, that is lead nitrate, is equal to 2PbO lead oxide plus 4NO2, that is nitrogen oxide plus O2. So in all these examples, what happened when heat was applied, the compound decomposed. So these reactions, they are also called thermal decomposition reaction, that is decomposition because of heat. Okay. Now there is another kind of decomposition, that is called electrolytic decomposition. In this case, the energy comes from electricity, and electrolysis happens, and as a result of electrolysis, the decomposition happens, and that is why this reaction is called electrolytic decomposition. So what happens when electricity is passed through water? Water decomposes to give hydrogen and oxygen. The equation is 2H2O is equal to 2H2 plus O2. Another type of decomposition reaction is photolysis or photo decomposition reaction. The photo comes from light. So when decomposition happens because of light energy, the reaction is called photo decomposition reaction. So when example is when silver chloride is put in sunlight, it decomposes to give silver and chlorine gas. The equation is 2AgCl is equal to 2Ag plus Cl2. Similarly, when silver bromide is left in sunlight, it decomposes to give silver and bromine. 2AgBr is equal to 2Ag plus Br2. So this property of silver chloride or silver bromide is utilized to make photographic films. So nowadays photographic films, they are out of use, but you must have seen the X-ray plates. They are taken on photographic films. So photographic films, they are coated with silver chloride, which turns into gray when exposed to light. So that is how a traditional camera works or traditional photo film works, because of photo decomposition of silver halides. Then another type of reaction is displacement reaction. A reaction in which atoms or ions move from one compound to other to form a new compound are known as displacement reaction. Displacement reaction is also known as substitution reaction, because what happens, one ion displaces another ion from a compound. General depiction of displacement reaction can be A plus BC is equal to AC plus B. So what happens, BC is a compound and A is another reactant. So in this reaction, A is displacing B from BC and a new compound AC is formed and B becomes free. So this is an example of single displacement reaction. The displacement reactions only takes place when A is more reactive than B. Otherwise, it won't happen. So let us see some real life examples. What happens when zinc reacts with hydrochloric acid? Zinc is more reactive than hydrogen. So zinc will displace hydrogen from hydrochloric acid and it will form zinc chloride. The equation is Zn plus 2HCl is equal to ZnCl2 plus H2. Another example is when zinc reacts with copper sulfate. It forms zinc sulfate and copper metal. The equation is Zn plus CuSO4, that is copper sulfate, is equal to ZnSO4 plus Cu. Next example is the reaction between silver and copper nitrate. No reaction will take place here because silver is less reactive than copper. So this example is given just to show that a more reactive metal is required for displacement reaction to take place. Okay, so that's all for this lesson. Thank you.